Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to welcome Major General Matlock, Brigadier Tingey, Command Sergeant Major Gobb, all general officers, colonels, command sergeants major, El Paso and surrounding area community officials, other distinguished guests, friends, family, and soldiers. Good morning and welcome to the 1st Armored Division, Division Artillery Change of Command and Change of Responsibility Ceremony. During today's ceremony, Colonel Jarolimek will relinquish command of the 1st Armored Division, Division Artillery, to Colonel Collins, and Command Sergeant Major Walls will relinquish responsibility to Command Sergeant Major Alcedo. Hosting today's ceremony is Major General Matlock, Commanding General 1st Armored Division and Fort Bliss. The Commander of Troops is the 1st Armored Division, Division Artillery Executive Officer Major Jaquez. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Specialist Martinez is presenting Mrs. Jarolimek with a bouquet of red roses as a token of appreciation for her love and support to Colonel Jarolimek. At this time, Private First Class Stokely is presenting Mrs. Walls with a bouquet of red roses as a token of appreciation for her tireless efforts in supporting the 1st Armored Division, Division Artillery. Private First Class Jordan is now presenting Mrs. Collins with a bouquet of yellow roses, welcoming her to the 1st Armored Division, Division Artillery. He is also presenting a yellow rose to his daughter Gretchen. Specialist Peliquin, the Division Artillery Soldier of the Quarter, is now presenting Mrs. Alcedo with a bouquet of yellow roses, welcoming her to the 1st Armored Division, Division Artillery. She is also presenting a yellow rose to his daughter Alicia. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the invocation by Chaplain Jackson.
Let us pray. Almighty God, in this moment we pause to acknowledge the blessings you have bestowed upon us, getting us here today. And for those blessings we confidently expect from you in the future. Lord, we are thankful for today for these leaders like Colonel Jarolimek and Command Sergeant Major Walls, who have committed to lead by example. We ask that you would continue to direct their steps as they transition to the next exciting chapter of their careers. We know that behind every great leader stands a family, and we pray for continued strength and endurance upon them during this transition as well. As the flag of responsibility is passed to Colonel Collins and Command Sergeant Major Alcedo, we ask that their tenure be marked with success and excellence. May you grant them wisdom and integrity in their leadership, and may you bless their families as they provide continued support in this new journey. I ask that you would bless our brothers and sisters who are serving around the world. Protect them and bring them home safely. Provide peace and comfort for them and their families in this time of absence. Bless our Army and our great nation. Amen.
Please be seated. State ceremonies date to the days of the Continental Army at Valley Forge. Baron von Steuben, the first Inspector General of the Army, wrote the original manual by which military ceremonies were conducted in America. The Continental Army conducted the first ceremonial review in 1778 at Valley Forge. Referred to as the Grand Review, it was conducted to celebrate the Treaty of Alliance with France. During the review, 120 soldiers were posted and paraded in the order of battle. Present-day ceremonies, like the one you will witness this afternoon, are conducted to render honors, preserve tradition, and inspire esprit de corps. The 100th Army Band, under the direction of Sergeant First Class Doug Wortell, provides music for today's ceremony. The 100th Army Band's presence represents the significant role that drum, bugle, and marching bands have played throughout history. At this time, Major General Matlock will join the outgoing and incoming commanders to troop the line for inspection. The assembled soldiers. Legend has it that Alexander the Great was the first military commander to use this technique of inspection. It provides commanders the opportunity to review their soldiers' fitness to wage war. Headquarters and Headquarters Battery, 1st Armored Division Artillery, was first constituted on 15 July 1940 in the regular Army as the Artillery Section, Headquarters, 1st Armored Division, and was activated at Fort Knox, Kentucky. The unit was redesignated on 15 November 1940 as the Artillery Section, Division Headquarters, 1st Armored Division. Reorganized and redesignated on 1 March 1942 as Headquarters, Division Artillery Command, 1st Armored Division, the unit deployed to North Africa and Italy in the Second World War, earning 6 campaign streamers. In May 1971, the unit was inactivated at Fort Hood, Texas, and reactivated in Zindorf, Germany, in place of former elements of the 4th Armored Division Artillery. On November 1990, the Division Artillery was notified to deploy to Saudi Arabia. As part of Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm, the 1st Armored Division Artillery added 2 additional battle streamers for their service in Southwest Asia. In December 1995, the Division Artillery deployed to Bosnia-Herzegovina as part of Task Force Eagle in support of Operation Joint Endeavor. They deployed again in 1997 to Bosnia-Herzegovina for Operation Joint Guard and Operation Joint Forge. In 1998, the Division Artillery planned and executed Rolling Steel, the first large-scale maneuver rights exercise in Germany since 1993. The year 1999 saw elements of the Division Artillery deployed to peacekeeping operations with Operation Allied Force in Albania and Operation Joint Guardian in Kosovo. In late May 2007, the 1st Armored Division's Division Artillery was inactivated. This was a product of the transformation of the 1st Armored Division to the new modular force structure. Reactivated on 23 July 2014, the 1st Armored Division, Division Artillery, prepared for Operation Inherent Resolve and supported the Combined Joint Land Forces Component Command in Iraq in 2017. After supporting the Iraqi security forces and their liberation of Mosul from the hands of ISIS, the 1st Armored Division's Division Artillery returned to Fort Bliss, Texas, and now stands ready to destroy, neutralize, or suppress the enemy by cannon, rocket, and missile fire, and to integrate all fire support assets into combined arms operations. Iron Steel. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem.
Detachment! Present! Oh!
Please be seated.
Detachment! Order! Oh! Loud order march! Rush!
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Major General Matlock, Colonel Jarolimek, and Colonel Collins will move forward for the official passing of the colors, and Command Sergeant Major Alcedo will move forward to assume responsibility of the 1st Armored Division, Division Artillery. The history, traditions, and accomplishments of the 1st Armored Division, Division Artillery are embodied in its colors. Historically, the colors have served as the point around which soldiers of the organization rallied as they moved forward into combat. The colors have traditionally been at the commander's side and were carried forward even when the commander fell in combat. All others in the organization might perish, but the colors live on forever. In accordance with paragraph 2-5 Bravo, Army Regulation 600-20, the undersigned assumes command of the 1st Armored Division, Division Artillery, effective 10 July 2019. Signed, James M. Collins, Colonel, Field Artillery, Commanding. Colonel Collins will now entrust the colors to Command Sergeant Major Alcedo, signifying his assumption of responsibility as the Division Artillery Command Sergeant Major. Ladies and gentlemen, Major General Patrick E. Matlock.
Good morning. So with the narrator's voice, I feel like I'm ready for the fire support rehearsal all over again in the Warfighter. Not everyone will understand that, but those that had the experience will certainly remember it. Awesome. Distinguished guests, brigade and battalion command teams, family and friends of the 1st Armored Division Artillery Brigade. What a beautiful day to celebrate the passing of the mantle of leadership from a terrific outgoing command team to an equally terrific incoming command team. It is simply a beautiful day, complete with the sounds of the 601 Motor Speedway in the background. Before I say a few things about each of these leaders, their families, and the soldiers they represent, I would like to thank the soldiers in formation, the 100th Band, the protocol and ceremony teams, and everyone involved in making this ceremony happen. As always, your efforts make each of these ceremonies a special event. I would also like to welcome the family and friends of these command teams. Colonel Keith Jarolimek is joined today by his wife Kim, and Command Sergeant Major Walls is joined by his wife Crystal. Welcome to both of you. Colonel Jim Collins is joined today by his wife Amy, daughter Gretchen, and family members Joanne G., Richard Collins, Cindy Collins, Eric G., and Lauren G. Sergeant Major retired Gregory Jackson, who served with Jim as a first sergeant, is also here. Welcome to you. Command Sergeant Major Alcedo is joined by his wife Nina and daughter Alicia, and also by close friend and Army mentor, could be an armor mentor for all that matters, Shahid Shakir. Welcome to each of you. And I know there are thousands of soldiers, leaders, and friends across the Army and our great nation whose thoughts are with these teams today. Keith Jarolimek has commanded the 1st Armored Division Artillery Brigade with distinction. From day one, he and his team have been operating at the speed of war. Keith deployed shortly after taking command and performed magnificently in Iraq and Syria as part of the joint task force that defeated ISIS and restored the sovereignty of Iraq. This was a comprehensive campaign built around many efforts, but its decisive energy came from an extraordinary targeting process built with Keith's leadership and the hard work of his exceptional team. Upon redeployment, Keith shifted his focus directly to our home station training program here at Fort Bliss. Keith expertly balanced working with his brigade commander teammates to build lethality in the direct support field artillery battalions and the brigade fire support systems, while at the same time training the division staff and his own brigade headquarters to conduct large-scale combat operations. Keith's results in every area have been magnificent. The hallmarks of Keith's leadership are teamwork and trust. He operates across the entire division and indeed the Phantom Corps as a trusted member of every formation. I know all of your fellow brigade command teams join me in thanking you for the quality of your approach in this area. It has been impressive to watch. Keith, you have my personal thanks for the excellence you've displayed in command. Job very well done. Right at Colonel Jarolimek's side, every step of the way has been a truly superb leader of soldiers. Command Sergeant Major Darrell Walls has served with distinction as the Division Artillery Senior Enlisted Leader. In his quiet, understated way, when I wrote that, I thought maybe it was quiet and understated around me. I suspect there are other places where it's not so quiet and not quite so understated. Sergeant Major, yeah, for sure. Sergeant Major Walls has built and enabled excellence in every part of our artillery and fire support teams. Like his wingman, Command Sergeant Major Walls is a trusted teammate in every part of this division and a respected leader of soldiers who brings out everyone's best up and down the chain of command. Command Sergeant Major Walls, you likewise have my personal thanks for the quality of your leadership. Iron 7 and I are both very grateful for your personal example, your timely advice, and your efforts on behalf of this entire formation. Thank you. In true Army fashion, these two leaders are followed by an equally capable command team. Colonel Jim Collins is perfectly prepared to assume command of the 1st Armored Division Artillery Brigade. Jim has served with distinction in artillery and combined arms formations across the world, from company fire support officer to direct support artillery battalion command, overseas, in combat, and in the continental United States. His service includes nearly 10 years with the 1st Armored Division in Germany and deployed. I'm counting 3 there from the 170th. On a personal note, I had the privilege of serving with Jim at Smith Barracks, Germany, and in Afghanistan. As his brigade commander, he was our brigade fire support officer, then our fires battalion S3, and then as the best major in the brigade, I selected Jim to serve as the brigade combat team S3 while we were deployed. Jim, welcome to Fort Bliss. Welcome back to the 1st Armored Division. It is simply terrific to serve with you again. By Colonel Collins' side will stand another outstanding Command Sergeant Major, Jean Alcedo. Command Sergeant Major Alcedo likewise is perfectly prepared to serve as the senior enlisted leader for the 1st Armored Division Artillery. He comes to this position having served for the last 2 years as the Command Sergeant Major for the Fires Battalion of the 173rd Airborne Brigade Combat Team in Europe. Command Sergeant Major Alcedo has extensive experience at every level of leadership in artillery and combined arms formations in the United States, in Europe, and in the Pacific, in combat and at home station. Command Sergeant Major Alcedo, welcome to the Old Ironside Division and back to Fort Bliss. It is terrific to have you on this team. Like all great soldiers, these leaders did not make it here on their own. They've been supported by their families every step of the way. Kim and Crystal, thank you for supporting your soldier, caring for your family, and supporting Army families over many years and many assignments. Amy and Nina, welcome to Fort Bliss and to the Division family. Jackie and I and the Cobbs look forward to spending time with you and working together to care for soldiers and families throughout our community. Keith, I wish you every success as you head east to serve as Lieutenant General James, Chief of Staff in the 1st Army. Command Sergeant Major Walls, I also wish you the very best as you assume responsibility next week as the Command Sergeant Major of the 5th Armored Brigade right here at Fort Bliss. You will both excel in this incredibly important mission set, and I look forward to seeing what the future holds for both of you. God bless our soldiers and families and our great nation. Iron Soldiers, Phantom Lethal, Army Strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Keith R. Jarolimek.
You have to give me a minute to... I didn't have to put glasses on when I read my incoming change of command speech, but I do now, so... Major General, Mrs. Matlock, Brigadier Tingy, distinguished guests, Colonel Tully, Mrs. Tully, Mr. Bailey, oh, that seems probably a little too formal, John, Sergeant Major, Lear, fellow commanders and command sergeant majors, and most of all, family and friends of the DIVARTY, 1st Armored Division of Fort Bliss, thank you for joining us this morning. Well, we all maybe want to drink coffee on our porches during this great Southwest Texas morning. A little breeze and a little shade. Sergeant Major Walls and I truly appreciate your attendance. Now, you all noticed a big smile on Sergeant Major Walls' face this morning, as he has pulled off probably the greatest trick of his tenure, getting away with not having to give a speech in this combined ceremony, so I will say thanks for both of us. So first of all, we also like to say thanks to the band, Protocol, especially Mr. Bob Schultz, who from Protocol, the voice of the DIVARTYs, we like to say, Captain Tom Evanson, and Sergeant Major Morris, and all the NCOs that made this happen this morning. There are many people, Sergeant Major Walls and I would like to thank today, who have made the last 2 years of the DIVARTY's history successful. But first, we'd like to take a minute to thank our families. To my wife, Kim, the rock of our family, who does so much for myself and the kids. Your support allows me to continue to serve this great nation, our Army, and soldiers and families. The sacrifices you make as a wife, mother, and teacher inspire me every day and provide our children a wonderful example. I love you. Thank you. To our kids, Connor, Kyle, and Morgan, who could not be here today because they have some JOBs, so that is why. Yes, exactly. Your mother and I are so proud of you and count our blessings every day to have such intelligent, resilient children. Now, Crystal, I felt very uncomfortable saying these things to you, so Darrell should be saying them if he hasn't already. So, just so you know. Sergeant Major Walls and I have been very fortunate to serve under 2 great command teams. Lieutenant General White, Command Sergeant Major Day, and Major General Matlock, and Command Sergeant Major Cobb. Sir, thank you for the opportunity and trust for us to serve these great soldiers and families. You have created an exceptional climate to command and lead in. I don't think I know how much I've learned from you yet, but it's been a ton of what I know, but I think there's even more that will come as I move in the Army. We are better leaders for having served under your leadership. Thank you. We've also served with some of the finest general officers the U.S. and British Army have to offer. Thank you to Generals Landis, Gallivan, Nauman, Brigadiers Lawrence and Tingy for your coaching, mentorship, and patience over the last 2 years. I would be remiss if I also didn't thank Mike Hester and John Cushing. They set the example of what a chief of staff should be. Thank you for your support to the DIVARTY. We'd also like to thank the finest collection of brigade commanders and command sergeant majors the Army has today. The Army got it right when they put this group of professionals together. The teamwork displayed by every unit in this division is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, we learn something from you every day. You made us better leaders, better commander, and a better command sergeant major. A heartfelt thank you to our great FRG advisors, Kim Miller, Sarah Tolbert, and Christy Sandor. These fantastic ladies represent all the wonderful families of DIVARTY. You know, people talk of the sacrifices we as soldiers make, but we chose this profession. The family's choice was to love and support a soldier, and that support comes with many sacrifices. Thank you for all you do for your soldier. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for our great families. To my battle buddy on this journey the last 2 years, Command Sergeant Major Walls. It is only fitting that you and I go out together today. It's been a true honor to serve alongside the finest NCO I've ever known. Your expertise, candor, drive, professionalism, and humor made this a better unit and me a better leader. Your impact on this formation will be felt for years to come. As the soldiers, NCOs, and officers continue to serve and emulate you into the future. You are the Command Sergeant Major every commander wants and every soldier deserves. Thank you for your leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, standing before you today are disciplined soldiers, masters of their core competencies and warrior tasks, who have proven they can do it all. Led by the finest officers and non-commissioned officers in the Army, who are the best teammates, set the example, lead from the front, and strive every day to make the organization the best it can be. They are non-commissioned officers of character, competence, and commitment, who are standard or disciplined standard bearers dedicated to their soldiers and families. They represent just about every MOS in the Army. The soldiers and leaders of HHB, HHBN, 24th T-PACE, 41FA, 23FA, and 427FA have not only led the way in improving their core competencies, but excelled at every task put before them. From the deserts of Iraq, Kuwait, the National Training Center in Fort Bliss, to Korea, Europe, Puerto Rico, the southwest border, and the digital terrain of the warfighter, the leaders and soldiers of DIVARTY have accomplished every mission they have been handed, no matter the condition. Please join me in a round of applause for these great soldiers and leaders before you today. Colonel Jim Collins and Sergeant Major Alcedo step forward today to assume the mantle of leadership for this great unit. While it is always difficult to leave such a great organization, it is easier knowing we are passing the torch to two great Army leaders. Jim, I can think of no leader I'd rather pass command of these soldiers to than you. I'm sure the DIVARTY will rise to new heights with you and Sergeant Major Alcedo at the helm. Congratulations. Soldiers, families, and leaders of DIVARTY, I speak for Sergeant Major Walls as well when I say commanding and leading this DIVARTY has been one of the most professionally rewarding experiences we have ever had in the Army. We considered ourselves honored, lucky, and fortunate to have been given the opportunity to serve you. One of my favorite quotes is from Thomas Paine. He said that every man and woman who risks his or her life for freedom, for something greater than oneself, is a hero. We are proud to have stood among heroes these last 2 years. Iron Soldiers, Iron Steel 6 and 7 signing off the net.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, Division Artillery, 1st Armored Division, Colonel James M. Collins.
Major General Matlock, Command Sergeant Major Cobb, distinguished guests, fellow commanders and command sergeants majors, community leaders, and friends of Iron Steel, thank you for your time this morning. In 2005, I departed 1st Armored Division, and for the past 14 years, I've been trying to find a way to return to America's Tank Division. Today, I'm once again honored to join your ranks. To all of our friends and partners throughout El Paso, thank you for the warm welcome. Amy and I, and Command Sergeant Major Alcedo and Nina, look forward to meeting our local friends and teammates. Lastly, Sergeant Major, the formation looks outstanding. Iron Steel and the fire supporters from across the division are clearly trained, disciplined, and ready. To the soldiers, NCOs, and officers throughout the formation, thank you for your hard work and dedication. Your sacrifices do not go unnoticed. Iron soldiers, Iron Steel.
The Pass and Review originated in the medieval days when departing crusaders marched before the king, who paid his respect as the spectators cheered. The Pass and Review has from its inception served to display the glory and the strength of the assembled troops. Division Artillery Staff is led by Major Jaquez. And the band drum major is Staff Sergeant Brown. Headquarters and Headquarters Battery is commanded by Captain Shaw and First Sergeant Brightman. The 24th Gator Public Affairs Support Element is commanded by Major McCullough and Command Sergeant Major Howard. Sergeant Major Pierre.
Sir, this concludes today's ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the change of command ceremony. Please join Colonel Jarolimek on the field for your well wishes. You are also invited to a joint reception for Colonel Collins and Command Sergeant Major Alcedo in the torch.